Hi, my name is Anna and I will be doing a video response to two videos that we watched from TED. And the two videos was the first one, Hand Rosling the Magic Washing Machine, and the second one was Cheryl Wu Dunn, Our Century's Greatest Injustice. And the first video, I didn't really write a lot about what I got out of the video, but it was interesting. Hans Rosling was first describing, how his family felt when they finally got a washing machine and what this meant to her grandmother, his grandmother, his mother, and it meant they didn't have to spend hours a day washing those clothes by hand. And he also said how people in India and people all around the world still have to wash their clothes by hand, and what technology does for people. And he also said a lot about two things that increase energy use, and he went into more detail with this, and those two reasons were, one, population growth and economic growth. So as people are more economically stable, they're able to buy more appliances such as that dishwasher or clothes, any of that stuff, and they can have more time to do other things or earn other money and stuff such as that. And the coolest thing was, after his mother got the washing machine, she started reading. And not only did she read just books, but she started to learn English, and she started to teach herself some other things. And this affected his own cognitive development, because she was helping teach him English and teach him as she was learning along. And just that extra time that she had, not washing her clothes but instead teaching her children, was amazing. And he probably appreciates it now. He has a good standing, has a good job, and he obviously seems like a smart person, so I think he has a lot to thank for his mother for all of that. Then the second video was Cheryl Wu Dunn, Our Century's Greatest Injustice, and for this she talked about a few different areas, mostly about women and wanting to bring women into the working force and some changes that need to happen in order to help women. She talked a little bit about sex trafficking, which is a problem in many different areas, and she said sex trafficking or modern slavery, what has been found, but obviously there is more that hasn't been documented or stuff such as that. There are about 800,000 women trafficked across borders in order for slavery and other things that are just sad to think about, that women have to go through. And it was actually really cool. No, kind of sad to say, but my country was actually mentioned in this video. Niger is struggling with a lot. It has awful infant mortality rates, maternal mortality rates, low literacy rates, and really they're just struggling a lot. Their GDP did go up, but they're still not in good standing economically or health-wise, or things such as that. And so she said for maternal mortality, about 1 in 7 Niger woman dies. She didn't really explain whether it was after giving birth or stuff like that, but she said there's 3 things that put women in a bad situation, or stuff like that. And it's if you're poor and rural. It obviously means that you don't have that hospital to go to, you don't have the school, and it's harder for those women in order to combat all the variables that are holding them away from getting education, holding them away from living up to their potential and achieving their dreams. But she said that she feels that women really need to be brought into the workforce, and that they can do a lot of good, not only for the economy, but be good for their families in order to teach their kids, teach their families about hygiene and stuff. like that in order to help them be more educated. And she said the central moral challenge in this century is gender inequality, and that was really her main purpose for most of her video. And she talked about a couple different women who changed the cycle of their family, or changed what people think need to happen with them. And there's one girl, Mahabharaba, which I totally said that wrong, but this woman, actually wrong one, Seema, I think that's another woman. She started an embroidery business and started making a lot of money. She ended up having people had a desire to buy her embroidery, and so she hired women from her own town in order to help her embroider, and then she also involved her husband with distributing those goods around and sending it to where they need to go. And so I thought that was a really good story because the husband was willing to help her despite, the traditional values most likely of women not working as much. And so I thought that was a good story. And then the last thing that I thought was interesting was education is the highest return. The highest return is women education. Little bits of help can be transformative, and do what you can and keep doing better. And this made me think a lot about the first video and that mother getting the washing machine and then teaching her son. Just that little bit of change, just that small thing caused such a great difference in her life and her son's life, and it was very pivotal. And then the last thing was that there are only a couple things that can increase your happiness, and one is contributing to a cause larger than yourself. And we can take what we have for granted. We have great fortune and great responsibility. So she was talking about how we have a lot, and there are so many things that we can do in order to help others around the world, whether it be education or the other 7 developmental goals in order to help those that are struggling with them. And I just really like these videos. They made me think a lot, and that's it.